are found in all cultures and societies. These evil spirits have a role in producing erratic, unexpected behavior, a mental influence on people who are often gullible or weak-minded, but people nonetheless. The malevolent entities arouse explosive jealousies, powerful desires for vengeance, and shocking mental confusion. Now, the Bible has diverse ideas on the subject of demons. For example, animistic notions, spirits that inhabit trees, animals, mountains, rivers, storms, etc., as well as fertility deities that are linked to the demonic. Divine beings that through sin have lost their celestial home. And angelic messengers are also connected to demons in the Bible. They're interchangeable in the Old Testament. They're part of God's court, legitimate members of the divine heavenly council. In the Old Testament, Satan is not a single archenemy of God. Satan acts on God's behalf as an adversary or accuser. Now, the name Satan has obscure Semitic roots as well as multiple meanings. For example, it means to obstruct, to be remote, to rove, and to burn. But by the 3rd century BC, we have the first examples of a character who is the arch enemy of Yahweh, the Lord God, as well as humanity. This is going on in Second Temple literature. The flexibility of this tradition, the interchangeability of angels and demons, is still apparent, but a variety of figures, not identical to each other, but apparently regarded as God's principal archenemy, begin to spring up. We have Mastema, Semyaz, and Belial. Belial being the most frequent. Well, this is influenced by Persian dualism, the existence of two primal and independent personifications of good and evil, the light versus the darkness. Now, in the New Testament Gospels, the New Testament, the Gospels, share many of these ideas about demonology, but standardizes the name Satan, the Greek Satanas, as the archenemy of God. In the Greek Septuagint Bible, the Christian Gospels, the devil becomes the translation of Satan. Beelzebub becomes the prince of demons, a leader among the demons who are opposed to God and identified with Satan. Beelzebub is, of course, the ancient god of Ekron, mentioned in Ugaritic texts and known in the Hebrew Old Testament scriptures as the Lord of the Flies in Hebrew and the Lord of Dung in Aramaic. You also have Apollyon, the evil one and tempter, who is mentioned as the prince of demons in the Septuagint scriptures. This is from the Greco-Roman era, of course. Lucifer becomes a popular name for Satan, but this happens in the Middle Ages and merges New Testament tradition, the fall of Satan from heaven, and separate biblical tradition concerning the morning star. That's how the name Lucifer comes into being. All of these demonic beings can imitate an angel of light, command the air, and are equated with the dragon. Theologians and writers from the Middle Ages popularized the characteristics of Satan from sources with roots found in Greek, Roman, Celtic, Germanic, and Norse mythology. Ancient myths about primordial beasts that wreak havoc on God's creation, This merges with biblical traditions about Satan. But these developments and literary allusions do not really explain the presence of evil in the world, a powerful, malevolent force that seems to be growing stronger, seems to be gaining ground. Evil seems to be feeding off of our negative energies as humanity grows ever more violent, callous, and cold-hearted. We may think of ourselves as far too sophisticated to believe in this ancient concept of demonic entities. But contemporary missionaries working, however, in developing countries often tell us that demons are alive and well, possessing people in cultures where superstition still flourishes. What we Christians need to remember is that Jesus Christ had power and authority over these evil spirits, using only the divine words of God and the power of love to cast them out. All right.